Hello, my name is Mehmet Hat, and today I'll be showing you how to find limits graphically. So right now we have our question here, which says consider the following function defined by its graph. And then we have to find these following limits. So first off, let's look at the first limit, and it says the limit as x approaches -1 from the negative side. So right now we know two things. First off, we know that we're looking at -1, which is right here. Let me just mark that real quick, which is right here. And we're looking at it from the negative side. So from this side right here. So we're going like this. So as we go along this function all the way from the top, we can see that we approach this value of 2. So that's why our limit would be 2. You can like completely forget about that other point. That other point is irrelevant. We're only looking at the function, like the curve of the function. So the limit for the first question would be 2. Okay, so now let's go on to B. So this time we have to find the limit of x as it approaches -1 from the positive side. So we're still looking at the same number, but this time we're gonna go in from the positive side. So as we go through the function from the positive side, you can also see that it ends up at the same point of positive 2. So that's why the function would also, this limit would also be 2. So let's put our 2 there. And then our next question is the limit as x approaches -1. We're not given a direction, but we know that since both limits as you approach from the left and right side approach 2, since both of those limits are 2, we can safely say that this limit is going to be 2 as well. If these two values were different, then there would be no limit, but since they're both the same and they're at 2, we know that this limit is 2 as well. So let's look at our next question, which is the limit as x approaches -4. We're not given a direction. So -4 is right here. So this is the part of the function that is at -4. So as you can see, unlike this one, this function, it has two different paths. So if you go from the negative side, you'll end up at 3. But if you go from the positive side, then you'll end up at 4. For that reason, we know for a fact that this limit does not exist at -4. So we're just going to put a D and E. That stands for does not exist here. And for our last question, we have the limit as x approaches 4. And again, we're not given a direction. So we're looking right here, and just like the other question, question D, you can see that there's two different limits. If you approach from the negative side, you'll reach -3, but if you approach from the positive side, you'll reach -2. So for that reason, we know that this limit does not exist as well. Thank you.